Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this exclusive webinar hosted by Kadri International in collaboration with our esteemed partner university from Hungary, which is the University of Debrecen. Today we have myself, Zahra, and Dr. Kadri from Kadri International Education Consultancy. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we're proud to have 40 years of experience in guiding students just like you towards internationally recognized university by being the regional representative, and we do facilitate with the entrance exam of University of Debrecen too. So today's webinar has been specially organized to give you direct insight into the university, its programs, admission requirements, and the overall international education experience. Before we begin, I would also encourage everyone attending to keep their questions ready after the presentation, as we will have a dedicated Q&A session towards the later part where we will be answering your questions one by one. So to sum up, the webinar will go on for 1 hour, and in the first half, we will discuss about the university, then we will move on to the Q&A session where you will be typing your questions. All right, and today we have Ms. Dora from the University of Debrecen who has joined us today. So thank you once again for joining us. And without further delay, I would like to hand over the next part of the session to you, Ms. Dora.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned before, my name is Dora. I work at the Coordinating Center for International Education at the University of Debrecen, and today I will talk to you about the study programs we offer and we'll share information, general information about the university. And then, as mentioned, I will be answering your questions that may have come up during the presentation. So first off, I would like to talk about where we're located because I'm sure some of you already know, but some of you may not be too familiar. So we are in Hungary, which is a small country in Central Europe. Hungary is a member of the European Union, of course, as well as the Schengen area. And when I said small country, I mean we only have about 10 million people in Hungary, so it is indeed a small country. The capital of the country is Budapest, and our university is located in Debrecen, about 2 hours away from the capital. We are one of the safest countries in the whole world. We rank 17th according to the Global Peace Index. So Hungary is one of the safest environments you can choose to do your international studies. Now, as for the weather, because it's really different from where you come from, um, Hungary has mild continental climate, and that means that we have all 4 seasons. We get to experience all 4 seasons as seen in the movies. So we have winters with snow, which can be quite chilly. And then we have spring. We are at the end of springtime here in Hungary right now, and which is lovely, mostly sunny with some spring showers. Everything turns green. Then we have summers, which are pretty hot, but not really nearly as hot as summers in the UAE. For example, our top um, degrees would be around 35, 30 to 35 in the summer. And then we have autumn and winter again. So when you come study in Hungary and you live in Hungary, you have in every season you have something else to look for, and seasons always changing. And I think it's wonderful, especially if you come from a place where the weather is usually the same. It's a nice change um, from what you're used to. Now, let's talk about the city of Debrecen first, because it's a very interesting city indeed. It's the second largest in Hungary, but on a global scale, it's still considered to be a smaller size city with about 200,000, 230,000 people, with the suburbs living in Debrecen. But despite the smaller size of the city of Debrecen, it has the largest higher education institution of the country located there, which is, of course, by default, the University of Debrecen. So it's sort of a nice paradox to have a small city life and then a very multicultural international student community, a very vibrant student community um, within this city, which I hope you will get to experience and see for yourself. You can see some photos of our um, lovely city here with the Great Forest Park area, which is, of course, under environmental protection, international environmental protection. You will see how green the city is with parks at every corner, trees that are hundreds of years old, lakes. Um, Springs, water fountains everywhere, sports facilities around the city, as well as a very sufficiently working public transportation system and bicycle roads uh, woven throughout the city. So while Debrecen is a smaller size city and offers you a very relaxed city life, it has all the amenities and the facilities you will need to live very comfortably in a multicultural environment. We have an international airport in Debrecen, mostly with flights connecting to direct EU destinations. We have a city center where you can take historic walks full of cafes, bars, restaurants, shopping malls. I mentioned the bicycle roads, the city parks, both open air and indoor pools, because Hungary is very famous for its thermal water. And a lot of people travel specifically to Debrecen for the healing properties, to benefit from the healing properties of the thermal water found in our country. We have sports fields, gyms, theaters, cinemas, ice skating rinks, all year round ice skating rinks. So basically everything that you will need to live comfortably and have fun when you have some time off. Now, let's move on to the specifics of the university, because of course this might be what's most important to you currently as people who are applying to universities, different universities, for you to see which one would be the best fit for you. You have to have sufficient information, so that's why I'm going to try and attempt to give you in the next few minutes. So start with the facts about the University of Debrecen. The predecessor of the university, which was the College of the Protestant Church, was founded back in 1538. So that already gives us a couple of hundreds of years, a couple of centuries of experience in higher education. But of course, the modern version of the university, as we know it today, was founded much later in 1912 with the establishment of the Hungarian Royal University. But even that was over a century ago, a lot more than a century ago now. So we are one of the oldest higher education institutions in the Central Europe region currently. We have 13 different faculties offering a variety of study programs to international students specifically, starting with agriculture through economics, dentistry, health sciences, law, music, natural sciences and technology, medicine, of course, IT studies. Basically anything you might be interested in, we will have a study program for that. We currently operate on 8 different campuses. So it's not just one campus, 8 different campuses in 4 cities. I told you that we are a large university, the largest in Hungary, and that's definitely true, not just by the number of students, but by the sheer size of the university campuses that we have, um, which are located in Debrecen and in the neighboring cities around Debrecen as well. So, as for the student body, we have about 34,000 students as of this academic year, and almost 8,000 of them are internationals. That's the largest international student campus in Central Europe. And these almost 8,000 students come from all over the world, almost 140 countries, actually. So, just try to think of a very specific country, have a country in mind. I bet you that we will have at least one student from whatever country you have in mind right now. So when you come and study here at the University of Debrecen, you will meet students from all over the world, literally, and you will make friends with people who you would otherwise have never met in your life, due to the fact that you come from entirely different countries, entirely different continents, different religions, different languages, different cultures. And it's incredible to be able to share your culture and learn more about theirs in a small town like Debrecen. Now, for the academic facts, we have a student lecture ratio of 20 to 1, actually better than 20 to 1, but 20 to 1 is the EU standard, which we qualify for, with about 1,500 lecturers currently and many, many other teachers offering education at the university. You will see some photos of our campuses here. You will see how green they are with our agriculture campus in the first photo, the life sciences building, which might be especially interesting for future medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy students and natural science students, because they will be spending a lot of time in that green building and the top right and bottom right photos. And then we have the wonderful main building of the university. And mind you, this photo is not photoshopped. So this is what our main campus looks like in the spring. I briefly mentioned about the long, long history of our university, but I just wanted to add that the university has been operating as the largest university of Hungary since 2000, when they decided to join smaller colleges and universities around Debrecen, which simply became faculties to the same university, the University of Debrecen today. So that's why we have such a large variety of study programs, because all these faculties that we have, they used to be their own higher education institutions. And now they serve as faculties, which is ideal in order to be able to conduct interdisciplinary research and to cooperate with professors and other and peers from other faculties and other study fields. And this is one of the benefits and one of the main highlights of the university, is that you get to meet and work with individuals in completely different study fields, even on the same campus very often. And due to the fact that we all belong to the same institution, the same higher education institution, it's way easier to work and cooperate with these individuals, despite the fact that they study different things. We, of course, have impressive buildings and state-of-the-art facilities and study spaces available to students. You can see our main building, the Learning Center, which is the latest addition to our facilities. The Learning Center has been created in order to offer students, especially international students, a place where they can get together, study together, do group projects, hang out, and even it's even home to our prayer rooms for both male and female students, as well as a bistro, our merch shop, and seminar rooms, and a large 300 plus person lecture hall as well. We have the sports sciences building just across the street from the Learning Center. We have student hostels and dormitories on campus. Once again, the life sciences building with the life sciences library. And our IT faculty, which is on another campus about 15 minutes from the main campus of the university. The IT faculty is home to the fastest processing supercomputer of the country, in all of Hungary, which we're very proud of. And I hope you will get the chance to check it out yourself when you come to Debrecen. We offer self-study spaces, of course, simulators, labs for students to use for their research, modern lecture halls. We have all the amenities like restaurants, snack bars, cafes, grocery stores, and a pharmacy on campus, as well as libraries. Well, basically, all these branches that we have on different campuses and in different buildings, they all belong to the one and only National Library of the University of Debrecen. Why I think it's important to highlight that it's called the National Library of the University of Debrecen is because there are only two national libraries in the country of Hungary. One of them is ours, and the other one is located in the capital. And that's a great honor to be called a national library because it means two things. First is that in order to qualify for the title of national library, you have to have more than 6 million copies of books and other items such as scientific journals and such, which we do. We overqualify for this actually by millions. And then the second one is if you're a national library, whatever gets printed in Hungary, in whatever language, in whatever field, starting with coloring books to scientific books to science fiction to literature to poems, anything that's ever published in the country in whatever language, we have to be sent a copy. So that gives you a huge database of different books and different journals in order to do your research, to entertain yourself, even if you like to read in your free time. And it's available to all UD students and staff members free of charge with their university pass. So it's definitely one of the great things about the University of Debrecen. Now, a lot of you are interested in medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy, as far as I know. So let's talk a little bit about the medical education and what extras we actually have for students who join this profession. We have the largest healthcare provider of the country of Hungary on campus, available to students to carry out their practices at the clinical center of the University of Debrecen, which has more than 3 million patients each and every year. And we offer state-of-the-art um, treatment, operations, surgeries, and just healthcare in general, checkups, open heart surgery, kidney transplantation, etc., to all of our patients, of course. And when you're a student at the University of Debrecen, one of the two things is that if you're a medical student, you're going to be doing your practices there, and you don't even have to leave campus because it's on our main campus. Second, if you're an international student, you will also get medical care on campus at one of these facilities free of charge because your medical insurance will either be included in the tuition fee that you pay, or if you're a scholarship student, then the scholarship will cover your medical care as well, which is an important factor if you live in a country for anywhere between 3 to 6 years, depending on which study program you choose. You will definitely have times when you need to visit a GP, when you need to visit a specialist, when you need to have something prescribed. And we offer that free of charge, as well as mental health counseling to any student, both in English and Hungarian, should they need it. Now, you have seen that we have an ideal environment to offer you to do your studies and live in an international environment and enjoy all our libraries, our self-study spaces, our group study spaces, lecture halls, seminar rooms, practicals, etc. But you will also want to have some fun when you study abroad, of course, and you will want to make friends because it's really difficult to get by in a completely different country, a foreign country, with no friends. And to help you and to assist you in finding friends and join our community, we have different events to offer you, starting off with Freshers Week when you first arrive to the university. We will offer you to join student clubs, to do sports, to do all kinds of fun things, to join events, to join the ISU, the International Student Union, and just to participate in student life in general. And then you will become one of these lovely people that you see in the photos. You will attend International Food Day, which is the largest international student event of Hungary. It's held in April or May each year. We just had it like 2 weeks ago. Um, you will join student union events. You will be able to register to carry your own flag at the flag show at U Day, which is one of the highlights of our semester opening ceremony each year with concerts and laser shows and stuff. So you will always have something to do. You can build a community, you can make friends with internationals, and uh, you don't have to worry about a thing because you will be living in one of the safest cities in the whole world. Where do our students come from? Because I told you we have so many international students that makes us the largest international campus, but where do they come from? This is obviously not the full list that you see here. It's just some of the top countries where we have students from. But I mentioned that any country you might be able to think of, we will have a couple of students from there for sure. So it will be very easy to make friends with students from everywhere, from Kenya to Mongolia to India to South Korea to Vietnam. And of course, you can meet and interact with our Hungarian students as well. What kind of study programs do we offer, you might ask? Because if whatever I've been telling you sounds good so far, you will obviously want to see what the options are for you to actually enroll in to the University of Debrecen. Let's talk about the medical school first, which includes four faculties: the Faculty of Medicine, the Faculty of Dentistry, as well as the Faculty of Pharmacy, and the Faculty of Health Sciences, which offers a wide range of bachelor and master level healthcare programs such as public health or nursing. So these are the programs offered within the medical school, and we also offer a preparatory course or so-called foundation course, which is not a substitution for A levels. It's for students who, based on their entrance exam results, will need some extra catching up before they can start with year one of medicine, dentistry, or pharmacy. So we have all these options for students interested in the medical and health science programs. Just real quickly, medicine is a 6-year program, undivided, so bachelor's and master's together. 12 semesters, 6 years. Dentistry and pharmacy are 10 semesters, so 5 years. They work the same way, bachelor's and master's combined. So after you graduate, you get a master's degree actually, but you can join the program itself, start the program itself after high school. So you do it all in one go. And for all of these programs, you need an entrance exam and an entrance interview. That you can either do on site in Dubai or online, depending on where you're located. Then we offer, of course, the bachelor programs in health sciences, which are usually 4 years long, so 8 semesters, such as physiotherapy or nursing or public health, as I mentioned. And for nursing, there's a written exam in biology and an entrance interview. And for the other two, just an interview. And of course, if you're interested in future master programs, you will need a relevant bachelor's degree for all of those, as well as to pass our entrance interview. Then there are postgraduate or doctoral school options for you if you want to study further and start a research program as well. Now, for those who are interested in non-medical programs, so anything that that has to do with agriculture, business, engineering, humanities, IT, natural sciences, law, or even music, we have a very, very long list of programs. So in agriculture, we have precision, we have agricultural engineering, we have water management. For business, we have communication, we have commerce and marketing, we have business administration, we have international business and economy, we have engineering programs, so like civil engineering, chemical, biochemical engineering, vehicle engineering, mechanical, mechatronics engineering, civil, I believe I said that already, electrical. So all the engineering programs, engineering management as well. We have humanities programs. So in languages, Roman philology, which is French studies, English and American studies. We have psychology. We have kindergarten teacher studies. We have IT programs, business informatics, computer science engineering. We have AI diploma courses for after your bachelor's. We have the science programs as in biotechnology, geoinformatics, physics, chemistry, applied mathematics. We have a law program for master's students, international and European business law. And for all of the bachelor programs and the single cycle medical programs, we have one single intake in September. And for the master level programs, for the majority of the master level programs, we also have a February intake. But if you're a high school student preparing for your studies, you need to know that our main intake for you will be the one in September. That's what you're looking for. And these non-medical programs that I've been listing just real quick, these bachelor programs usually go on for 3 to 3.5 or 4 years, depending on which one you choose. For example, psychology will be 3 years, 6 semesters. Most of the engineering programs will be 3.5 years, so 7 semesters. And civil engineering is 8 semesters, so 4 years. The master's programs are usually 2 years long, the PhD is 4 years. And then we have prep courses for those as well. Once again, the prep courses or the foundation programs are not a substitution for A levels. It's just for students who didn't quite pass the entrance exam. So I would like to thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. I would like to kindly ask you to follow us on social media. We are available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn. And then, of course, if you have questions now, I'm very happy to answer those. And if you have any further questions later on, whatever questions you have, you can turn to Dr. Kadri's team. They have been representing the university in the region for many, many years, and they will be able to guide you through the application process, answer all of your questions, and assist you along the way. So this was my presentation, and I'm happy to answer your questions, please.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dora, for the presentation, and I'm sure that our students and parents found it very valuable and helpful in understanding the kind of opportunities available. So, as promised, we will now move on to the next part of the session to answer all your questions. And the Q&A session is now open. So you can begin by typing your questions directly in the Q&A box. It should be at the center bottom of your screen, and we will try to answer each one. Please also try not to repeat any same questions, as the recording of the session will be available on our YouTube page. So we already have some questions coming in, and I think we can begin. The first one is by Mubarak. So Mubarak has already passed the entrance exam and did not quite qualify for the scholarship based on the nationality. So maybe you could talk about that?
Yes, so we have two scholarship options. One of them is called Stipendium Hungaricum, which is based on bilateral agreements between the Hungarian government and the government of those countries which participate in the scholarship program. So where we welcome these scholarship students from. The list of these countries can be found on the Stipendium Hungaricum website, which is stipendiumhungaricum.hu/partners. This is where you can look up whether your nationality is on the list. It's very important to know that it's your passport nationality that counts, not your country of residence. So it's always where you have the nationality from. If you're on the list, then you may qualify for the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, which is a full merit-based scholarship. Of course, there's a long process in order to benefit from this scholarship, but it's feasible. We have hundreds of students with the scholarship, so please check out our website for the details and the steps on how to do that, or ask Dr. Kadri's team and they will help you with it. Very important. The scholarship application is between mid-November to mid-January. It's only 2 months each year for the next September intake. So you apply for that a year before you actually start going to the University of Debrecen, and it's very competitive. And there are multiple selections rounds, actually, and one of them is you have to be nominated by your home country, by your passport country. If you're not nominated, we cannot proceed with your scholarship application. It's very important to keep that in mind. These sending partners in each country who nominate the students for the scholarship or choose them for the scholarship, they have their own criteria uh, on which they base their nomination. So you have to also be familiar with those, which is not our responsibility, and we don't even know because we're not part of that selection step. We're only part of the second one, which comes after nomination, which is our university's admission procedure essentially for scholarship students. And then there's a third selection round. So it's a bit of a more complicated story, but you can read up on that in the meantime if you're still getting information and will be applying later on for 2027, for example, then you still have time to learn more about this scholarship. And I know that Sudan is not one of the, coming back to the question, I'm sorry, I know that Sudan is not one of the countries who, unfortunately, who participate in this scholarship. We also have another partial, not full, but partial scholarship option, which is offered straight by the university, which is called UD International Scholarship. But there's only a limited list of study programs available with this scholarship for a certain amount of like a discount off of the yearly tuition fee. It's also merit based. And there's a list of countries who will be able to participate in the scholarship, which you can also check out on the university's website. So there are these two scholarship options. You have to apply for both even before taking the entrance exam. And you will have to check out whether you qualify prior to applying. Of course, you won't actually even be able to apply if you do not qualify for that. We will not be giving out merit-based scholarships after taking the exam, unfortunately. You have to notify us. We have to know that you're applying for the scholarship beforehand. Okay, let's move on to the next question.
All right. Next question is by Aida. So Aida has completed the foundation year at one of the universities in Dubai for leading up to psychological sciences. It's a BSc,
Mm-hmm.
but have not completed any A. They have not completed the entire A level. So they've done AS. Would they be eligible
Mm-hmm.
for the BMC route or the MD route for the Jan intake?
So as I said, I'm trying to read the question at the same time. So as I said, our foundation course is not a substitution for A levels. We usually tell students that they need a high school diploma. In the British curriculum's case, it equals to A levels. So we usually tell students who apply to for medicine to have at least two A levels, preferably in biology, chemistry, or physics, because those would be the entrance exam subjects as well for them. And this psychological science foundation course that you took is also does not qualify you more than an A level would. So, because it's not something that simply we have in our higher education system. So, because Hungarian law says that you need to have a full high school diploma, which in Hungary I know it's 12 years, but in the British system is year 13 is also included. That's why if a student is from the British system, we require the full thing. I hope that answered the question, or if Dr. Kadri would like to add to it.
Yes, that's true that I mean foundation from any institute cannot substitute the A levels because foundation is meant for a particular university. Foundation is not like a open qualification like I mean A levels or high school diploma. Foundation means that it's a kind of bridging program which is meant to study in that particular institute. So most of the universities do not accept the foundation from other institute unless and until it is previously agreed upon. No? So if it's agreed, then okay. Otherwise, it's not acceptable. No? I
Plus,
hope
even
this.
our own foundation is no substitution either.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
our foundation does not serve that purpose. It's simply to
yeah,
prepare students for their year one. If we
yeah,
feel like their original curriculum was was too different, so they didn't pass the entrance exam and
Mm.
therefore do not meet the expectations for year one, then we can offer them foundation. But it's not because they don't have the A levels, it's because of
Yeah.
the knowledge we need them
Yeah.
to succeed in
They
year one is
they
not
don't
there.
pass the entrance examination. Because
Yes.
of they don't pass the entrance examination, so they need more. They need to study more towards biochemistry and other subjects. No. Okay. Next, please.
All right. Next question is by Alia. So could you maybe talk about the nursing program in the Nirikyasa campus?
Definitely. Glad you asked because only a few people in these live events ever ask specifically about nursing, and I'm always very happy to tell you about that. Nyíregyháza is a neighboring city to Debrecen. It's not far away. It's about 35 to 40 minutes by car or train. So it's really close by. I think you may commute more in Dubai if you do than the distance between these two cities. So we have two campuses for health sciences. One of them is in Debrecen, the other one is in Nyíregyháza, right? Most of the nursing program courses would be in Nyíregyháza. They have their own beautiful campus. You can actually find some TikTok videos of that campus, and I think also on YouTube, some videos of the health sciences campus in Nyíregyháza for nursing students. So you would be located there if you chose nursing as your study program. Now, the nursing program is 4 years long, 8 semesters, 4 whole years. It offers you a BSc, a bachelor's in nursing. And in order to get accepted into this program, you would need, of course, a high school diploma and you would take an entrance exam. Now, a few years ago, we introduced a written entrance exam for nursing as well. One, due to the fact that we had so many people applying for this program. And two, you will need extensive biology knowledge and honestly in order to follow the courses for nursing. So now you have to take a biology written exam for nursing and then do an interview, which is more like personal interview. Unlike for medicine, that would be scientific topic based mostly. For nursing, it's a bit of a mixture of both, but it's also a lot about you as a person and your motivation and your CV. So that's what you would have to do in order to pass and get accepted into the nursing program. And then, yes, most of your courses will be in the Nyíregyháza campus, but you would still belong to the University of Debrecen fully. So it's a University of Debrecen program, your degrees from the University of Debrecen, and of course, you will be able to do your practices at the clinical center or at the teaching hospital of the university as well as a nursing student.
All right. Next question is by Katya. So in which companies could the students from engineering programs be accepted or are accepted the most then?
So I don't know in which order, but I can tell you about um, the industry days that the Faculty of Engineering holds every year, or maybe even every semester, but once every year, that's for sure, which is when about 40 companies, mostly international companies, are represented and student like it's like a job fair of sorts or internship fair. It's a huge deal. A lot of companies show up, they bring gifts, they have representatives. Students can go and go up and talk to them. They can get job offers, they can get internship offers throughout these industry days. There's a bunch of workshops, presentations from company reps. There's networking events. So it's really great. So if you're an engineer, it's at every faculty, but engineering faculties, of course, are really strong in that because we have so many companies in and around Debrecen, international companies who are represented there. So in no specific order, because I don't know the exact order, like which company would take the highest number of students, I don't know that, but just a couple of these companies that are there and are specifically looking for students for internships and then employment are Bosch, which is a German company, BMW, also a German company. This year it was what else? We had Lego, the toy bricks things. It's a really big company though. Um, we have tire companies. We have then pharmaceutical companies. We have Schaeffler. We have Tiva. We have a Hungarian pharmaceutical company which is now working internationally, which is called Richter Gedeon. So many companies really who would be represented at these industry days and job fairs, not just for engineering, but for all of the faculties, really. So, yes, a lot of these companies offer internships because our programs, most of the engineering, I think all of the engineering programs and most of the bachelor programs in general have a 6 week compulsory internship built into the curriculum in order to give students access to work experience before they graduate. So it's compulsory. Everybody has to complete it in order to graduate. And for this, there are a lot of companies who offer summer internships or part-time internships to students so that they can get to meet the soon to be graduating students and scour for talent. And the students can also do their internship, finish their internship, and get the credit for it. So we have a lot of cooperations with different companies for that reason. That was a bit of a long answer, but yeah.
All right, moving on to the next question by Farheen. Farheen would like to know about the admission requirements for medicine and the scholarship, but I think we have already discussed about the
Yeah,
scholarship.
we already discussed that now. Availability, like first off, eligibility depends on two things. Whether your country is on the list for the Stipendium Hungarian program, and if it's on the list, whether it offers medicine, and it's not MBBS, it's an MD program. There's a bit of a difference, which you might want to look into because then you would know like what exactly you're applying for in the future. So it doesn't get you don't get confused by why this program is longer, etc. So yeah, first off, whether your country is on the list of countries, partner countries, and whether that specific country where you come from, your passport country, whether that offers this specific study program that you chose. If so, then you can start the application process in November for the scholarship. Yeah.
All right. Next question is by Adiba. For qualifying for the FMG in India, do you need to have the medical license from Hungary?
So when you graduate as a medical doctor and sit for your state exam, that's needed in order for you to graduate. Everybody who does medicine or any study program, actually, you have a state exam. With that, you basically qualify to practice in Hungary. There's just paperwork to do to start working in Hungary. So in order to get your medical license in Hungary. So yeah, with the state exam, you already qualify because you were part of the study program that led you there. There's no other than paperwork. There's nothing else you have to do in order to get your medical license for Hungary. So you basically you already have that. So that's all I know.
All right. Next question is by Nidhi. For medicine, they would like to know about the entrance exams. When are the exams conducted? And for the preparation, is there any coaching or classes available?
Yeah, so there's one there's going to be 6th June in Dubai. Now for the 2027 intake, it's still in preparation, so I don't know the exact dates for the intake after that because we're a little late now to like we are the end of the application period now. So there's this one date for sure. And then for the next intake, there will be probably more, but we don't know the exact dates for those. And if you're applying for 2027, which I'm guessing you are because you're asking about preparations, right? I would like to ask you to check out the tutoring seminar option, which is essentially a live online prep for specifically for our entrance exam. If you feel like you need extra preparation or you want to just to make sure that you have all the topics covered and you know everything, it's taught by UD professors, and once again, it's live online, so you can sign up for that when the next batch starts for the tutoring seminar, and you can ask Dr. Kadri's team to register you for that. So yeah, there's preparation options for that. And of course, the sample tests are always available on our website, as well as the full topic list. So you're not left clueless as to what we need you to know for the entrance exam. You know exactly because it's on the website.
Okay, I would just like to add this that normally we conduct the entrance examination twice a year. One is in Jan, one is in April. So these two are the major one. After April, well, most or some of the programs are closed. Although we have the exam on June 6th, but some of the programs are I mean already closed. So please contact us if you have any specific requirement. And every year, normally the coaching program starts in March, no? So before the April examination, normally you have to go for the coaching if you like. At the
Early.
same time, we will provide you that one additional sample test paper so that you can prepare for it, no? If you don't want to pay for the coaching because that's a paid program, no? Your coaching program, you have to pay for this, no? Thank you. Next, please.
Yeah. All right. And to add on to that, I'm also sharing our contact details for those of you who do not know in the chat box. So you can always reach out to us for more information too. Next question is by Faryal. Faryal has received the offer for September medicine intake and has a few questions. Is it mandatory? Is the mandatory orientation online or must it be attended in person?
In
When will,
person.
okay. Second question, when will accommodation applications become available?
So you should start looking. If you've been accepted and got your documentation, you must have also received an email from the university by now, I think, um, with the link to our troubleshooter office, as well as other essential information on how to look for private accommodation close to where you will be staying, close to where your campus is going to be. So you should start looking around this time or by June, probably, to make sure that you have options. You can also join the Facebook groups um, to look for students who are already renting a flat and they are just offering a room. Maybe that's more comfortable in the first year because you're not renting on your own, but you're just moving in with other students to share a larger apartment. So there are options there, but you must have already received an email informing you on how to start the process of looking for accommodation, I believe.
Faryal, I saw your record. I think you got your visa letter already. My office has sent you
Okay.
and they have sent you all the details about the visa and this one. So please contact my office if you need further information.
Okay. Next question by Marvat. So, what are the visa procedures after acceptance, and how much time would it take to get, and when should they apply?
Dr. Kadri will be able to
Ye-
better answer that than
Yes,
me.
yes. Again, you can contact our office if you have received your acceptance. No, okay.
All right. Question by Sweta. So Miss Sweta would like to enroll her daughter for medicine who has completed high school grade 12 with physics, chemistry, and biology. Is the options are open now to apply for the September 2026 intake, so the students can go through the entrance exams, etc.
I think you should get in touch directly with Dr. Kadri or someone from his team, and they will guide you about this after the webinar, right?
Yes, sure. And as I've already mentioned
Yeah.
our contact details in the chat box, please feel free to reach out to us. Question by Il Mubarak. Is it possible to work during studies?
Um, Legally, students are allowed to work in Hungary part-time when they have a full student status, a maximum of 30 hours per week, legally. However, physically, it will not be possible for you to work 30 hours. And certain study programs will not allow you enough time to work part-time, such as medicine. You will be concentrating too much on your studies to do that. So I wouldn't count on any of the financial benefits of working part-time in Hungary to cover your studies, because it's always a tricky thing, whether you will have enough time, whether that's something that will fit into your schedule, whether you will be able to land a good paying job, etc. So in short, legally, less, yes, you're allowed. But if you're planning on funding your studies and stay in Hungary with your earnings from those part-time jobs, don't do that, please. Yeah.
All right. Faika has a question. Could you explain more about learning the Hungarian language, its importance, and also will it be treated as a separate subject along with the course? And are they supposed to learn the language before arriving?
Is it, I have a counter question. Is it for a medical student or a non-medical student? So, if you're a future medical student, then yes, Hungarian will be part of your curriculum and it will be sort of important because I mentioned in my presentation, you will be doing your practices at the clinical center of the university with Hungarian patients who are not um, required to speak any English if they don't want to. So you will have to be the one who will speak Hungarian to them and ask their symptoms in Hungarian and hopefully understand what they say their symptoms are, etc. in Hungarian. So for that reason, medical Hungarian and basic Hungarian and medical Hungarian is built into the curriculum as their own separate courses in the first half of your studies, and actually you will start your studies with a crash course with a quick 2 week, I think it's a 2 week crash course of basic Hungarian just to get you going. But that's not the hard part. The two things: one, that's not the hard part of your studies when you're a medical student, so Hungarian will seem like a fun thing to do as compared to some of the basic theoretical classes you would have, like anatomy. Second, it will not bring you to a level where you're like B2 or intermediate in Hungarian necessarily. You will have a lot of medical Hungarian knowledge, which is funny because you will know very specific things like what an appendix is in Hungarian, but you might not know what a key is or whatever. So it's medical Hungarian mostly that you will be focusing on, and that's in order to prepare you for your practices when you're dealing with Hungarian patients. It's not too difficult, I think. This is not what students say is the hard part of being a medical student in Hungary. And you do not have to learn any Hungarian prior to arriving. If you're not a medical student, then no, you're not required to learn any Hungarian, with the exception if you're a Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship holder, then the scholarship has as a requirement you to study some Hungarian for a semester and Hungarian culture and Hungarian language, because it's part of the scholarship program that you learn a bit about Hungary and a bit about our language. But if you're a fee-paying non-medical student, literally no Hungarian is required from you. But we always advise students that it's nice to pick up a few expressions just to get by and just to make locals smile to see internationals speaking Hungarian to them or saying at least one or two words in Hungarian to them. Yeah.
All right. Next question is by Marvat. She just wants to ask about the cost of living, such as the food, internet, or any other accommodation apart
So
from the tuition fee.
yeah, usually we advise students that they will need with accommodation though, accommodation, utilities, groceries, transportation costs, essentials, that sort of thing. So just to get by and live comfortably, the average student will need around $700 to $800 per month. That's above the tuition. So monthly, you would need an allowance or some kind of funding of around $700-800 to live in Debrecen. Of course, that can be a lot more as well if you always order food, if you always go to restaurants, if you go on shopping sprees, if you go traveling here and there, then of course it will be a lot more. But for you to live in Debrecen and get by and have enough food and have a place to live and pay your utilities and transportation and textbooks and all that sort, you will need about 700 or 800, which is not a lot of money as compared to Dubai, for example, I think.
All right. Next question is by Alia. Alia would like to know, would the university be helping with renewing the residence permit each year?
So you don't have to renew it each year. It's every 2 years if you're a medical student, I think. And it's almost automatic. So it's just a question of paperwork. You have to get a paper from the school, which our university will give you if you go to the office in charge of giving out the student status certificate, then they will give it to you, stating that you're still an active student, you're still enrolled, you're still going to your classes. You gather the paperwork, send it in, and then it will be renewed. It's not a really difficult thing to do, to be honest, but we do have a guide for that on the website as well, if you want to look into it right now.
All right. Question by Abdi Karim. Is the University of Debrecen recognized throughout the world and specifically Europe for the
Yeah.
residency?
Yes, it's an EU degree, so it's automatic in the EU and many countries of the world, most countries actually. Um, it's if you want to do residency even in the States, you would qualify. Of course, you would have to do the USMLE just like everybody else, no matter where they graduate from. Currently for the UK, there's no licensing exam. You can just start your residency and start working in the UK right away. If they will go ahead with the UK MLE, of course, that may change things, but still, then everybody will have to do it no matter where they graduate from. We have accreditation from many medical boards around the world. We are accredited by the World Health Organization, the WFME. So yeah.
All right. So we did discuss about the Hungarian language during the course of study. Yara is asking, are there any other language requirements to apply?
Just English.
All right. Question by Lean about scholarships. Lean, we had discussed this in detail, and a recording of the webinar will be available for you to look at. Of course, you can reach out to us for that. So we did answer that. Okay, next question is by Ms. Marvat. Okay, so we did talk about the requirements.
Yeah. A levels.
License from Hungary to practice in India. Yep, we discussed this to Adiba. Entrance
How are
exams.
the exams conducted? Are they done online or do applicants need to done in person? So if you live in the UAE, then you would have an in-person exam in Dubai, and Dr. Kadri's team will let you know how to do that, and they will help you register for that as well. Then a committee of professors from Hungary will travel to the UAE to do the entrance exam, to conduct the entrance exam. So you will meet these professors in person. You will first write the written test, then you will have an interview with them, a scientific topic-based interview with them, and you would have a yes or no answer within that day, usually. And if you're outside of the UAE, so you don't go to school there, you don't live there, if you're in some other country entirely, permanently, then you would most likely have the option to do it online as well.
Yes, and Lane, once again, I'm going to be dropping the chat details in our chat box again in case you missed or you joined later, so you can get in touch with us for the entrance examination. Okay, question by Sanjay. Sanjay has completed the medical entrance exam and has got it into the first year, and they want to ask a couple questions. What is the timeline for the mandatory medical checkup upon arrival? What happens if a student needs to follow up on a specific vaccination? Is there any dedicated orientation or freshman week? And where can the students meet upperclassmen for advice? I think they mean
That's
seniors.
a bit of a longer question, but we have on the website edu.unidep.hu, we have an actual section that's called Freshman Info. And all of the answers to your questions with the medical checkup, what to bring, what to do, vaccination leaflet, orientation, where you can register, where you can get in touch with others, every single thing that you just mentioned is there, and there's a checklist for you to download that's based on your study program and where you come from. So if you just put it in there, you will be able to download it, but actually it's sent to you via email as well. So please check out that website, because all your more than what you're looking for is there, and you will know everything. Okay.
All right, let's take the last three questions now, since we're
Okay.
already passing the 1 hour mark now.
Yeah.
Okay, question by Lean. When's the beginning of the semester in medical school? And for the preparation exam, how much is it paid? Okay, so for the
What's the
entrance
preparation exam?
examination, Lean, for the entrance exam payment and rest of the details, you can get in touch with us. But about the beginning of the semester in medical school, maybe we can talk about that.
So in first year, you should be here by the end of August, because I said you would start with a Hungarian crash course that's before the actual semester starts, and the semester usually starts in the first half of September. So usually the first week or early second week of September, but you would know the exact date because that would be in the freshman info website as well. So you would know when, and where you have to show up for orientation, for registration, freshers week, agenda, everything else. It will be there.
All right. The next question was about the visa. So I do recommend again to contact us, please, Mohammed. Next question and the final one is by Aman. What is the interview about for physiotherapy?
So it's mostly an interview style oral exam. So like a job interview of sorts. They can ask some like field related questions as well. Why your interest to physiotherapy came up. They can ask you questions based off of the CV that you have submitted earlier, about your former studies, but they will ask about you mostly. It's not a scientific topic based oral exam. It's more of a discussion. So there's nothing extra special that you have to prepare.
All right.
Just be confident in what you want to do, why you chose that program, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I think we've answered all of the open questions, and students, once again, feel free to reach out to our office for any further discussions. I think this is where we can wrap up the session then. Thank you, Ms. Dora, and thank you all the students
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day and good luck to everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, everybody, and especially Dora. Thanks for joining us. No? Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.